Hola, ¿cómo está mi amigo? What's happening? Hope we are having a banger. Welcome back. This is episode 8 of the Dargan Podcast, and it is good to have you here, mi amigo. We're back with some fire, baby. Gonna run you through this week mistakes to avoid when it comes to your fitness journey. I wish somebody had told me these back in the day. It would have saved me so many years, 8 years to be precise. It would have collapsed that into maybe 3 or 4. This is one of the most important pods that we will do for sure. We can talk about mindset till the cows come home. But your fitness, your training, that is the gateway to your personal development. So we nail a couple of these down. If we see any mistakes that we're making, we rectify that today, gold. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but this is anecdotal things that I've gone through and through having coached hundreds of guys and girls, some of the mistakes that they're making, and how we're going to make sure that we optimize what we're doing here. So we can get 100 girls on the beach. I hope somebody's got that reference. It was this little Chinese dude. It was a video back at, it was like 6 years ago with this little Chinese dude. He says, this type of body is going to get you 100 girls on the beach. Please tell me someone gets that. Probably not. And you're thinking, who is this guy? What is he talking about? Shut up, Daniel. Anyway, it's important to realize here. There's so many things that we can implement. We're always looking for the next golden nugget, right? I'm the same. We look for that golden nugget. What's the thing that he's doing that's going to get him in that shape? I want to know that. But what I've learned along this journey, instead of finding the golden nuggets, it's looking at what we're doing wrong and just avoiding those. If we avoid the speed bumps, my friend, how much further ahead are we going to be? How much faster are we going to get there? It doesn't need to be fast, but we're just going to shortcut the bullshit, which is what we want. And I've been training now for about 8 years. When I say 8 years, there was so many. There's probably the first 3 or 4 of those years, 3 years at least, where I was going in and getting a pump for a night out. That was about the height of it. And I was doing diddly. I was not making good use of my time. But we're going to learn from that today. I've been coaching now for 2 years. And one of the biggest things that I would see, and one of the biggest mistakes that I made, was thinking it was going to happen overnight. Okay, I want to really hammer this home. I used to message guys who were absolutely jacked and say, hey bro, I have a holiday in 2 months' time. How can I look like you? Guys that have probably been training for 10, 15 years. How naive was 18-year-old Daniel? This guy needed a slap. Bear in mind, I was built like the side of a bus ticket. If I turned sideways, your boy disappeared. But we all got to start somewhere. And I actually think it's very comforting when I look at somebody who I admire, their physique, and I look back at when they were a lot skinnier, or maybe they were overweight. They were in a position which is so much more relatable. I was 67 kg. I was so skinny. My clothes fell off me. So we're going to get into it. We're going to look at gaining. We're going to look at your gym. We're all going to look at dieting, the whole heap. So let's get into it. Firstly, as I said, impatience is the enemy. Think it's going to happen overnight is the killer. The fact that it takes time, the fact that it's difficult is what gives it value. Back in school, or maybe uni, when you got your grade and you passed, you were so buzzing, right? But it wasn't getting the piece of paper. It wasn't getting the email. It was looking back at all the time studying that you spent, all that hard work. That's what you're buzzing about. That's what gives it value. So realizing that this is gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. That's okay. But that's why so many people aren't in the shit that they're after. Again, we live in a world of quick gratification. If we want food, we can get it now. If we want to order Amazon delivery, we can get it tomorrow morning. We can get anything. It's all the touch of our fingertips. So in an era where we can have things now, it's more difficult than ever. People perceive it to be more difficult than ever. But I'm telling you that if me and you, we're in this together, we avoid some of these speed bumps, we're going to get there. And it's actually never been easier to excel. It's never been easier to stand out from the crowd if we just avoid some of these mistakes that your boy was making. And he stops on your boy. That's so, yeah. I'm cringing myself out now. Daniel, you're walking egg. Who cares? Anyway, most guys and girls come to me and they want to be in a position where they're leaner, but they're eating more food. How do we do that? And put simply, you need to spend more time in a gaining phase. I didn't spend enough time gaining. I was always dieting. I told you before, I wanted to have a chiseled jawline when I was 18. That was the thing. And he's remember Nate Garner? He was like, all the girls loved him. I was like, I need to get this chiseled jawline. Another Rick. Damn, we're racking them up today. But to get that, I thought I need to be really lean. I need to cut my food. But what I actually needed to do was spend 10, 12 months in the gaining phase, pushing my food, building my physique, building muscle, getting stronger, so that I could then strip back the body fat and have a much leaner physique whilst eating more food. I want you to think about it like this. This is how I conceptualize it. Makes it easier to break it down in my head. I want you to think about a monster truck and a Fiat 500 on a starting line. Side by side. Now, which one needs more fuel to go 100 meters? Obviously, it's the big monster truck. Fiat 500 doesn't need as much. So I look at the Fiat 500, the monster truck, as a big, muscly dude who's been training years and somebody, 18-year-old Daniel, who was very skinny. Obviously, the big, muscly dude needs more energy to do the same gym session, to go about his day. Okay? So if we know that, then all we need is more muscle on our body. It's like a machine. The more muscle you have, the bigger machine, the more fuel, i.e. the more food to keep it running. So if you want to have loads of flexibility, loads of freedom, but stay lean, eat loads of food, but stay lean, we need more muscle. That's it. And to get that, we need to spend enough time gaining. So I need you to get comfortable with maybe not being lean. That's okay. And I'm here to tell you that anybody that does a photo shoot might think they're going to get loads of girls at the end of it. But I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. You've been lied to. I did a photo shoot at the time. I had a girlfriend at the time. But still, I still thought, going to get loads of female attention here. I was a young guy, normal, right? I'm going to get loads of female attention here. Loads of dudes in my comments, in the DMs, looking fire, bro. This guy. That's all you're going to get. So say if you're a guy and you think getting photo shoot condition and doing a photo shoot, posting a picture on the ground is going to change the game and you're going to be Hugh Hefner, I am here to tell you, you're wrong. You're sadly wrong. God, I made so many balls off. But yeah, that was so key. So what we need is to spend time in the surplus. So my first ever coach, when I jumped on with him in 2019, Ben Heron, legend. He sent me out his plan, right? The plan that he had for me. And it was a gaining phase, i.e. to eat more food. And I thought, you know, Michael Scott in The Office where he screams, it's happening. That was me. And I actually texted him and I said, mate, I don't want to do this anymore. I actually pulled out. And then he had a bit of a brief chat with me, told me that I was not a professional and that's what I needed. And I said, okay, you're right. I needed to let the ego drop. He's the professional. And we spent 10 to 12 months in a gaining phase. And it was the one single thing that completely changed my life. I was no longer the really small, skinny dude. That if somebody pushed me in a club, I was going to shit the bed because he was going to fold me over like a deck chair if I breathed. It gave me so much more confidence. I was so much fuller in my t-shirts. And then off the back of that, I stripped back, dropped the body fat, and I was a much better physique. That was the one thing I finally realized at the end of that. Wow, that's what I was looking for the whole time. But it just took being uncomfortable. I didn't like putting on the body fat. I didn't like pushing food, but I had to do it. So sometimes we need to slay the dragon. We need to face the dragon to get the goal. Sometimes to get the six pack, we need the sacrifice. Sometimes to get the resilience, we need to go through the hardship. There's a trade-off. So what dragon are you going to slay, my friend? Hard things, easy life. Easy things, hard life. I said time and time again. So never spend the time in a surplus. Número uno. Número dos. Winging it. Wow, winging it. That was me, Daniel, winging it, Dargan. I always thought I knew better than everyone. That was a really fatal flaw for me back in the day. Someone's professional, they spend 10 years studying and they've got a PhD. Nah, trust, bro. I know better. That held me back so much. So when I was 18, picture this. Let's set the scene. Summer 2018. Daniel in his room. YouTube up. Mike Chang. Mike Chang was one of the biggest fitness influencers at the time, shall we say. And he had these workouts called six-pack shortcuts. And I thought, six-pack? Shortcut? No hard work? No long time spent? Give me that. So I used to spend every single morning, it was like 6 minutes. And it was these ab exercises that I was doing. I was like, yeah, gonna be chiseled. Gonna get 100 girls on the beach. Didn't happen. Say if you've got hemorrhoids, you got piles, it's nasty like that. Do you just hope it gets better? Now, hopefully the answer to that is no. Nobody enjoys hemorrhoids, and I'm not speaking from personal experience. I listened to a podcast yesterday, and it was Kevin Bridges talking about hemorrhoids. He says he when he was going to the gym, and first whatever reason he got hemorrhoids off the back of that, piles, and he described it. Wow, he described it like when you're playing pool and you pot too many balls in one hole. Oh my God, this guy. Anyway, when you've got something wrong, do you just hope it gets better, or do you go to the doctor and sort it? If you break your tooth, do you just hope it gets better, or do you go and get sorted? Not that anybody's broken, but if we've something that we want to improve, do we just leave it up to chance? This is one thing that I see all the time. People winging it. See, if you're going to spend 3 hours a week in the gym, you may as well shortcut it and get your worthwhile. And I'm not saying hire me as a coach. No. I'm not saying that at all. But hire somebody. If you're spending the time and you're in a position where you're not really confident with how you look and how you feel, there's so much bullshit out there, and hopefully we're trying to dispel some of that here. But if you're really unsure and it's causing you pain, or you know you've got more than time, hire somebody. It doesn't have to be me. I'm not saying hire me at all. Just hire somebody, even if it's for a short period of time, so you understand the ropes, you understand how to get into the shape. And it means that if you do put body fat on, great, you know how to lose it, no issue whatsoever. So I wish I'd done that sooner. Don't do Mike Chang six-pack shortcuts. It's not the answer to your problem, because I thought it was. I was not right. But don't leave it up to chance. Something that is the foundation of everything that we do in life, whether that be your business, going on holiday, anything, holiday, relationships, your confidence is the foundation of all of those things. And if we have no confidence, they're going to take a hit. I asked you the question, what are 3 things that you value the most in your life? What are you going to say? Think about that. What are 3 things that you value most in your life? For a lot of you, it might be my family, my friends, my career. Okay, great. If your confidence is 10x, what impact is that going to have on those areas of your life? You're going to show up better at work. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be more outspoken in the right way. You're going to put yourself out there. You're going to show up for the best. You're going to be the best version of you for your friends, for your girlfriend, for your family. And then what happens on the other side of that? I always like to flip it and look at the other side. What happens if we don't look after our confidence? What happens if it gets worse? It's clearly not going to help those things. So something for me, which is really important to me, I wish I didn't leave it up to chance. And thankfully, I didn't. And thankfully, I put my trust in the hands of somebody else. And that completely changed my life. It completely changed my life. Because sometimes we don't realize what we're capable of. You know, when I started with my coach, I thought I was just going to go on for 12 weeks. And I ended up on with him for a year and then took a break and then started again after for another year. That was the one catalyst to my life changing. So if you're unsure, somebody to sort it for you. Somebody to sort it for you. I was shit at editing my videos and I didn't like it. So I said, okay, great. I'm going to have to get an editor and someone to do that for me. That's okay. That's fine. We don't need to be fantastic at everything. We can learn or we can get someone else to do it. All right, another one. Boom. Doing it when you feel like it. I used to go to box on Saturday night. It was a nightclub in Belfast. It was a GOAT, R.I.P. Gone but never forgotten. It was the best. And I used to, if you're watching the you should see, hold on. I would roll up my sleeves twice. It was never once, twice. Because then your sleeve was up towards nearly touching your delt. Exposing the bi, exposing the tricep, even though there was nothing there. So I used to go in on a Saturday morning or afternoon, I get a pump on, and I didn't realize what an idiot at the time that I was getting a pump. And I was wearing off after half an hour, but in my head, I was looking bigger. So I was going out, and I was, it was the man about town. Like, you can clearly see when I'm telling these stories that I thought I was the man back in the day. So yeah, it's quite funny looking back at that. But do you know when you feel like it? It's a dangerous game to play. You're a feather in the wind. And in the era of quick gratification, when we can have what we want, when we can get what we want, this is one thing that we can't have to click of our fingers, is getting in shape. And what happens if we only do things when we want? We might do it for a while, but when life gets hard, that's the first thing that goes to the wayside. And as I always say, if you do it when you're busy, if you do it when you don't feel like doing it, you're always gonna do it. And the only common denominator between someone who doesn't get a result and someone that does, the only common denominator with the people that do get a result is the fact that they do it long term. They're consistent with it. And I hear people say, oh, top tips for getting in shape, be consistent. It's like, no shit, man. No shit. It's going to take time. Obviously. But I want to hammer that home because I hear time and time again, oh, I wasn't motivated, so I didn't do it. Oh, I didn't want to get up. I wanted to hit something. I was tired, so I didn't go. And what? If we're tired, we go. And what if we don't feel motivated? We go. And what if we're not up for it? We go. Some people didn't even get the opportunity to go to the gym this morning. Some people went to sleep last night and they didn't wake up this morning, but you did. You got that opportunity. You got to work on yourself. And that's not something we should be annoyed about, that we have to go. That's not something that we should dread. That's something that, it's a liberty. That's something that we should be grateful for. And when you cut it deep like that, it makes you realize, shit, yeah, you're right. Or maybe I think I'm right. But don't be a feather in the wind. Be captain of your own ship. We take responsibility. And one thing that I say to my clients all the time is, we operate out of vision, not circumstance. We operate with conviction and not emotion. Your emotions are not in control. You are in control. So how do we combat that? We plan it in. We use Google Calendar. Download that after this. You can pause it now. Download Google Calendar. Plan in what times, what day you're going to do your gym sessions. And that's it. Once it's in, it's locked in, right? If that's in the morning, it's locked in. Because if you're sitting on a Saturday night or a Saturday afternoon and you're planning your gym sessions the week ahead, you're saying, oh yeah, I'd love to go Monday morning. I'd love to go Tuesday morning. Great. But when Sunday night comes round or Monday morning comes round, you can't be arsed. And I'm saying this as you. I can't be arsed. But when it's planned in ahead of time, that's vision. We operate out of conviction then, and there's no emotion at play. So the difference, if you plan your week 7 days ahead of time, just your gym sessions, you're going to get a lot more done. you're going to show up a lot more. And if you're caught, you're always missing one session, you're always maybe missing a Monday. What would it look like if you hit that session every week? I would tell you, it's another 52 sessions a year, another 52 hours spent in the gym. How much further ahead are you going to be? So what do you think about that? How can I operate? And think of my future self when I'm making decisions. Because I never thought about this before. I never thought that it didn't matter how I felt. Oh, well, if I don't want to go to the gym, that's a sign. That's a sign that I should stop. And I see so much of this bullshit online. No, you need to be kind to yourself. You need to be more kind to yourself. And, you should, if you're feeling tired, no, you need to rest up. If you're absolutely floored, you're sick, yes, of course, don't go to the gym. Absolutely. Sometimes we need to work smarter and not harder. Of course. But if we're tired, we get there. We tick the box. We sleep better that night. Simple. Because what that's going to do for your confidence, it's huge. Not only is that going to build your physique, it's going to build your confidence and your trust in who you are. Because that's all we have at the end of the day, right? So, mindset frame. We're going to park that, and then we're going to go into dieting. A lot of people know how to eat. A lot of people know how to get in the gain phase, of course, but dieting is one thing where I really struggle with, because I've done it for a couple of weeks and then I stopped. I've done it for a couple of weeks and then, sometimes I just took it too far as well. So for me, I always wanted to get lean, as I said, right? We know shredding mercury, shredding sugar, baby. But treating every week, oh my gosh, treating weekends like a holiday is something I used to do week in, week out. I used to finish work on a Friday. I was working Topshop sometimes, so I was working Topshop, so that literally could have been Thursday. And I was like, that's me clocked out for the week. I've been good saying. I've been good. So I'm going to throw all of this out the window this weekend, but it doesn't count because it's a weekend, right? It's a holiday, it doesn't count. And then we reset come Monday. And I wish that for 12 weeks, I just said, all right, I'm just going to treat my Saturdays and Sundays like a Monday, Tuesday. That's a mindset frame which completely changed my life. I'm going to treat a Saturday, Sunday the way I treat a Monday and Tuesday. Does it need to be like that all the time? No, of course not. I take a full Sunday off every single week and I chill out and do nope. I take a Saturday evening, afternoon and evening off as well. I do nothing. I chill out. But I'm talking with regards to your food. And if you're in a dieting phase, we're 12 weeks now, right? When this goes out, we're actually 11 weeks or 12 weeks out. I'm bullshit. Until summer. If you want to have the best summer of your life, and you're in a position right now where you're holding on to more body fat than you would like, give yourself 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks to really dial in, strip off some body fat, make the sacrifice now so that summer you don't need to be worried about calories, about food, anything like that. And you could be a lot more balanced with that. There is a time in your life where balance does not exist. And this might be the best time for it, leading up to summer. Because think about it like this. You have 12 weeks of imbalance, training, eating well, dialing in, not going on the ripper. And then you can enjoy your summer. You can go out on the ripper and you can have that balance and not need to worry then. So imbalance, then have a level playing field. So one tip, which you could definitely implement, which I implemented a couple of years ago to really help me, was start your week on a Friday, not a Monday. In your head, realistically, the days, they're just a social construct. So woke when I say that. But they're a social construct. So what if you started your dieting week on a Friday? You're going to be on the ball then. Look at your calories that you allot yourself for the week. Say it's 2,000. Across the week, that's 14,000. That starts at resets every Friday. If you eat and drink like a dick Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're going to be starving the rest of the week. And the week after, you're probably going to make a smarter choice. The week after, you're probably going to make a smarter choice. So frame it like that. Because as a society, we get into this idea that as soon as it hits Friday, it's boom, it's party time. And if we can shift, all that is perspective. We can shift that and move that around. Wow, the impact that's going to have on your perspective with dieting on the weekends, it's going to completely change. And sometimes one of the most important things is actually just saying no. And I'm not saying this as a drill sergeant. I'm saying this as a lot of people on social media feed you bullshit. They say you can go out, you can drink what you want, you can eat what you want, you can get in incredible shape. I'm not talking about someone that just wants to lose a pound or two. I'm talking about like, if you want to get an incredible result, if you want to get in incredible shape for summer, this is what I'm talking about. The whole sustainable approach, I'm not about that when it comes to dieting. My approach is that we get it in, we get it done, and we get out as soon as possible. And we get you into a eating phase. It means we can bring your food up, give you a lot more flexibility and freedom with food. I want you to go away and enjoy your holidays. I want you to go away and do those things and not need to worry about dieting. Whereas the sustainable approach, that's going to hold you in that for a long time. And you're going to be on holiday thinking, oh my God, I maybe should be having this, I should be having that. No, that's life's too short for that shit. So get in, get out, and that's going to be key. Shift that mindset. Start your week on a Friday. And never going fully all in. That's another one. Never going all in on your diet. Sometimes that takes saying no. But think about it like this. If you go 5 out of 7 days and you nail them, but the last 2, you make a balls on them every single week, and then you're always catching your tail, you're just adding weeks onto your diet. That's going to just stretch it out from 12 weeks to 16 weeks, from 12 to 16 to maybe 20 to 24 weeks. How much more painful is that? Who wants to be dieting for that long? Not me. That sucks balls. That's no chance. So by actually going 100% all in, making the sacrifices now, you're going to get so much further ahead, and you owe it to yourself to see what you're capable of. You owe it to you to go all in just once and see what happens. I wish I'd done it so much sooner. And for me, that was saying, okay, I'm not going to say yes to every social event that comes up. That might be saying, okay, I'm only going to go to birthdays or big events, and I'm not going to go out just because it's a Friday. That was the biggest shift for me, is saying, I'm not just going to go out because it's a Friday. And I deserve it. What did I deserve? I sat in my hole and talked shite and Top Shop for a week. I didn't deserve going on a ripper for 3 days. So I was then always catching my tail, never really got the result. It's only when I started my week on a Friday, and then I also went of the mindset, I'm going all in here, and then I can go off and enjoy myself. So that is so key. And say if you're dieting and you get to the position where you're like, like for example, if I have a client that wants to get abs, it just takes dieting harder. People think there's some sort of secret or some nugget to getting abs. All it is just dieting harder, doing more steps, doing more cardio. Is it the be all and end all? Absolutely not. But again, I'm a firm believer that you should see what you're capable of achieving. Last summer, I got to a shape which I'd never been in before. It was like, I was peeled, ripped to the dick, as some people in Belfast would say. Would I want to get like that every year? Absolutely no chance. No chance. It was difficult. My quality of life took a hit. But I seen what I was truly capable of as a man. And what a shame to grow old and never see what I had in the locker. You know, my wee brother and I, we talk about this a lot. We've banked that. We know we've got it in the locker now. And how much more does that build our confidence? So, don't do yourself a disservice. Go all in. Maybe go. Alcohol is always going to be there. I'm a big advocate that everybody should at least try going 3 months no ale and see how you get on. 3 months, 6 months, challenge yourself. See what you've got in the locker. And for me, I was going out every single Friday, Saturday. Again, I was nailing it through the week. Friday, Saturday, I was going out drinking, and it's not even sometimes the drink, it's your inhibitions go out the window. The chippy, gets nailed on the way home. You come home and you eat more shit. You wake up the next day and again, you're so dopamine deprived. You want that quick hit. So, okay, you go and get a fry, or you go and get shite. You might get a Chinese that night. Boom. That's the killer. It's not sometimes just the drink. So it's more so that our inhibitions go out the window. And I completely understand that as well. As soon as I get a drink, I mean, I'm the exact same. So it's accepting that and understanding that, okay, if that is the case, then maybe I can design my environment so I don't need to use willpower. So how can you do that? For me, it was not going on the rip. And then, of course, looking at the calories that we're having. If we're always having to bank calories for the weekend, we're going to be eating fuck all through the week. If we're always smashing loads of calories at the weekend, it's going to be very difficult to actually get yourself into ridiculous shape. Because you're saving so many calories for that, where you're just going over all the time and you're never actually in a calorie deficit. Alcohol will always be there. And if you'd ask me one question, what's the one thing that holds people, it is in the UK anyway, what's the one thing that holds people back from getting in shape or getting lean and nailing a diet phase? One word: alcohol. And people don't say this enough, because there is this idea in society, especially in the UK, that if you say this, you're going to be seen as bored, you're going to be outcasted, you're going to think, oh, what's wrong with you? No. Why is that the case? And I'd love to see now that it's becoming more normalized to go a weekend and go and do sober shit, to maybe go for a C-dip and go for, like, even going out sober sometimes. I understand it's so much more fun to go out and go on the beers. I get that. I'm not. You're talking to a man that loves a pint. But the first time where I actually went sober for, I think, maybe 6 or 9 months, that completely changed my life. I actually seen what I was capable of. I was like, oh my God, like, you don't feel incredible all the time. You just don't feel any of the shitty side effects. Well, you're like, oh, what? This is what life should feel like? Well, no way. This is how I should feel as a human? Shit, I didn't realize. You know yourself, it takes a Thursday to come round. And come Thursday, come Friday, you're like, who's on the beers tonight? Your focus is going to be up. Your energy is going to be up. Your hunger cues are going to be regulated. Your sleep's going to be nailed. Everything is going to be in the green. Giving yourself that time is going to be so key. With any of our guys that are dieting hard, we set a standard in place: one night out, or one drinks or meal off plan per month. And the reason why we do that sounds like, oh my God, that's so restrictive. No, we do that to nail the cut and then get out. It means when they're a gaining phase for 12 months of the year, that 12 months after that, they don't need to be like that. They don't need to operate at that standard. But that's how to get a result properly. Okay, and I'm telling you what you might need to hear and not what you want to hear, because I wish I knew that. I wish somebody said, Daniel, cut the bullshit, man. Stop kidding yourself. Stop lying to yourself. And, you know, if you're going to do anything in life, just do it right and then move on with it. Trying to diet and trying to gain at the same time, it's like trying to catch 2 rabbits. You end up catching none. It's like trying to hit 2 dartboards with 1 dart. You know? So pick one, nail it, move on. And if it's dieting, alcohol, don't let it be as present as your life in your life as it was previous, because it will shaft you. Gym sessions. That's it with my eye. Right, gym sessions. Let's hammer it. Back when I was in P6, primary 6, for anyone that doesn't know, I had one of our guys reach out. He says, yeah, one of our guys in America, he's listening. He doesn't know what P6 or P7 means. And I thought, yeah, you know what? It's fair point. Fair point. So back when I was in primary 6, just 2 years before going into high school, our teacher, Mr. Galt, used to have a thing every Friday where it was golden hour. You had golden hour, best hour of the week. I was gassed. So you got to bring in a Nintendo, you got to bring in a PSP, you got to bring in something where you could play with it for an hour. You could do your own thing. I always remember seeing people bring in books. I was like, bro, what? What has possessed you? You've gone all week looking at spellings and maths, and you've brought on a book at golden hour. Can somebody get this guy checked? Can somebody get VAR out here? This guy's been dropped on his head. No, we're bringing in a Nintendo and we're ripping it. And some weeks, some kid would shit on the floor and golden hour would be gone. And you'd be looking at that kid, being like, this fella needs capital punishment. I know he's only 8 years old, but send him to the gulag. We don't want them here. You're not welcome anymore. Golden hour is gone. Anyway, the point of that, your gym sessions are your golden hour. Your gym sessions are your golden hour. You've had a busy day at work. You might have kids. You might have a family. You've got loads going on in your life. And the 1 hour that you have to yourself is in your gym session. So let it be your hour. Let it be for you. Again, you owe it to yourself. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see is guys, girls sitting scrolling in the gym. I used to do it all the time, scrolling on Instagram during sets, texting people back on WhatsApp, texting, what do you have for dinner? Oh, man, nail a set. Dial in, focus. This is your hour, mate. This is your hour. Some people, it's like meditation in the gym. I don't see it like that. For me, I don't enjoy the gym as like my coach, for example. I have a coach, and Halmy, he's a legend, actually very good friends with me. I have so much time for him. The gym for him is like meditation. My man loves his gym sessions. For me, I know it serves me, so I do it, and that's it. Even if I don't love it, I still see that hour as an hour for me. And I owe it to myself to focus. I owe it to myself to unplug myself from the rest of the world. Because how long do we spend unplugged throughout the week? How many times in the past week have you been truly unplugged? No phone, no laptop, no iPad. And it's the one thing which will shaft your focus more than ever in your gym sessions. Your mind will be elsewhere. You'll not be bringing the intensity to your sets. So what I want you to do, completely change the game for me. Setting your phone on Do Not Disturb. That is key. You can also set your phone to grayscale, Gray, grayscale on iPhone. If you have an Android, so to be honest, I feel sorry for you. You should probably get that sorted. Come on. You're 2024 and you're sitting with an iPhone, with an Android. Come on, my man. Don't do me like that. If someone had to ask me, biggest red flag for dating, if I was single, she could be a 12 out of 10, but if she's got an Android, I'm sorry, it's not a good fit. So we just need to reevaluate. See this whole shebang about the camera being fantastic. When you go on the Snapchat, when you go on the Instagram, it looks like it's been taken on a potato. Steve Jobs didn't die for nothing. Big love, my man. Do Not Disturb. Set it to grayscale. It turns the phone in black and white. It's not very interesting to look at, which is the point. And then as soon as you finish your set, I want you to time your sets. So in between each set, 90 seconds. Okay, if it's a bigger set, heavier movement, go for 2 minutes. If it's a small isolated muscle, say if you're doing bicep curls, towards the very end of the session, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. But time that. As soon as you finish your set, hit the timer, boom, locked in, log your set, then rest, then you go into your set again, okay? I see people spending so much time in the gym. See, in our head, what I've realized, in our head, 90 seconds is like 3 minutes, right? So much longer, especially when you're scrolling. You're like, holy shit, 3 hours have gone by and I've done one exercise. What's going on here? So lock that in. Give yourself time. It's like a meeting with yourself, and that's your hour to focus, to build your confidence, to build trust in who you are, to get stronger, to get better, build muscle. Please do it for you. And if you won't do it for you, at least do it for somebody else. At least do it for somebody else. And that's a very powerful thing too. When I was out starting out my journey, if I didn't feel motivated, okay, who is this serving if I don't go? Who is this serving if I do? It doesn't serve anybody if I don't go. I'm actually a worse version of me. And then the people that I love the most get a shit version of Daniel. So let's put the responsibility on us for other people if we don't want to go for ourselves. But that's your golden hour. So gym time, no phones. Excuse my French. Fuck that. That is key. Also, tracking your lifts. So that comes in to play with that too. So see if you're going to the gym. Back in the day, I would have went in. I was like, all right, what do I want to do today? Party muscle. It's a Saturday night. Chest is getting pumped up. Say less. Say no more, my friend. We're hitting 47 sets of bench press. Then we're going to do 100 sets of bicep curls. Done. I was going in, doing what I felt like doing. I was doing random shit, which I've seen other big dudes in the gym doing. And I was never tracking my lifts. So I was never really getting stronger. And how do we put on muscle? Of course, we get in a calorie surplus. We're consuming more food. But also ensuring that we're getting stronger week on week. And how do we know that we're getting stronger? What gets measured gets improved. We track it in an app. So any of our guys that work with me, we give you access to your own profile on the app. And you can track all your lifts in there. There's instructional videos, everything. But what I want you to use, it's very simple. Go on to the app store. There's an app called Strong, and then there's an app called Rep Count. Strong is the one that I've used before. You can go in, you can put in your program, what exercise you're doing, and then you can log in your lifts. If you go to the gym and you hit 50 kg on a bench press for 8 reps, okay, great. You need to come in and hit 9 this week, at least. It makes it a game. It's so much more enjoyable when you know you come in and you know what you need to do and you know what to hit. A big reason why people get overwhelmed and they end up sacking the gym off. Yes, because they're like, oh, I didn't know what to do. That's, of course, one side of it. But there's no enjoyment to it. There's no not, like, they go in and they don't know what they need to hit. They're just doing what they feel like doing. And when there's that ambiguity of doing what you feel like doing, there's no conviction. We're leaving it up to chance. And we already know that we don't want to do that. So I want you to track your lifts. Okay, so if you take anything from today, download those apps, Strong or Rep Count, log them, so that whatever you hit last week, beat it. Set yourself a rep range. Say it's 8 to 10. Say it's 10 to 12. Studies show anywhere between 5 and 30 reps is suffice when it comes to hypertrophy for building muscle. Now, for me, personally, I like to go in between the range of 8 to 15, usually 8 to 10, 10 to 12, or 12 to 15, okay? Choose one, right? There's nothing better than the other as long as you're overloading, i.e. as long as you're getting stronger. And that's either through increasing reps, increasing sets, or increasing weight. So I just want you to focus on increasing reps and see whatever rep range you give yourself. See if you're a beginner, give yourself 10 to 12, okay? For every single exercise. As soon as you can hit 12 reps with a given weight, the next week, you've got to go up a weight. Rinse and repeat that. And then you start at 10. Then you go to 11. Then you do 12. Then you go up a weight again. Rinse and repeat that. And I know to some of you might be listening, you already know the gig with that. But I feel like that's important because I never done that. And if I never done that back in the day, how many others aren't doing the same? And if any of my clients are listening and they haven't tracked their lifts this week, I'm coming for you. I am the Terminator. I'm coming for you. I think that was quite a good impression. What do you reckon? So we're going to leave it there. Unless there's anything that comes to my mind in the next 2 minutes. I have a few more things. Yeah, all right, I'll give it to you. I thought it was overfilled, but not taking diet breaks. If you have a lot of body fat to lose, after 12, 16 weeks, take a diet break. So push your calories up by 500 at maintenance, where you're not going to be gaining or losing weight. And sit there, consume similar foods, just increase your food to give your body and your mind a rest from dieting. Of course, it is a stress on your body. It's going to allow you to upregulate your metabolism as well. So that when you go back into the cut, you can start your calories a little higher. But ultimately, just making sure that your life isn't miserable and you're just dieting all the time. So that's if you're in a position where you have a lot more body fat to lose and you, instead of being in a diet for a year, all right, just take your time with it. Take your time. Slow and steady. You have 10 kilos to lose? Okay, lose 1. And then rinse and repeat that cycle. Copy and paste it. And that's a great lesson for anybody. Don't focus on nailing the weight. That's another one. People just focus on nailing the week, nailing the 12-week, nailing the year. Just focus on nailing today, man. What if you nail today with your food, with your training, with your habits, and then you repeated that, you copy and pasted that day to day? Too many people focus on the mountain. Too many people focus on building the house. What if we focus on the next step? What if we focus on laying the first brick? It's so much easier to show up if we scale it down to size. Instead of focusing on slaying the big dragon, what if we scale it down and slay the one in front of you first? And when we do that, we've got momentum. We're in the game. We copy and paste that, and we do that tomorrow. You do that enough times, your life's going to change. That's what personal development is at the end of the day, right? That's how we improve our mindset, our confidence, our physique. It's not one box. It's not one thing done well. It's a collection of so many boxes lined up, ticked, day in, day out. So we don't need a perfect week. We need one good day, rinse and repeat, mi amigo. So from the top, man. I don't see Cillian Murphy win the Oscars as well. You know, I know I'm from Northern Ireland, but I was watching that, except he didn't have a great speech. He's not a man for speeches, right? I would have taken that and hit him with a Braveheart speech. They may take our lives. Even though I've never seen Braveheart. Anyway, yeah, I felt pride. I was like, so proud of you, man. I want to give you a hug, bro. Okay, from the top. Impatience is the enemy. It's going to take time. Never spending enough time in a surplus. Give it at least 10 to 12 months gaining. Give yourself time to bring up food. Be comfortable in the discomfort of gaining body fat. Winging it. Don't wing it. If you're going to spend the time doing it, you may as well shortcut it and do it right. Not saying to hire me. Hire somebody. Hemorrhoids, that's not what we're after, right? Doing it when you feel like it. We are not a feather in the wind. You're captain of the ship. Treating your weekends like a holiday. If you treat Saturday, Sunday the same way you would treat it Monday, Tuesday, you're going to win long term. Start your diet, your calories for the week on a Friday. It will completely shift your mindset towards calories in the weekend. Alcohol, it's always going to be there. Give yourself time to focus on you. Give yourself time to go all in. Sometimes it takes a no. If we want the six pack, we need sacrifice. Simple. If we want the gold, we're going to meet the dragon. Alcohol will always be there. It's 12 weeks of summer. You dial in now. You're going to be in a much better position. You're going to have a physique that you've never had before. And you're also going to have the flexibility and freedom. There is a time in your life when balance does not exist. You lead into 12 weeks of imbalance, and then you can level out with that. Too many people are focusing on balance. That's why we're in a position where we're stuck in no man's land. No, sir, it's imbalanced. Phone during your sessions, it's your golden hour. Do not disturb, grayscale. Also, time your sets. Making sure that you're logging your lifts, use a rep count or the app Strong. Making sure that you're getting stronger with reps and then adding weight week in, week out. If you have a long time dieting, take a diet break. And that may be go. Or mistakes to avoid in your fitness trainer. There's probably so many more that just haven't came to mind, but I just put up a few quick notes there and we run it. So, big love. Thank you for tuning in this week, mi amigo. What's going on in my life since you didn't ask? Good question. So, going to London tomorrow for the weekends. When I'm in London, like my girlfriend, she works maybe 8 a.m. until around 8 or 9 at night. I get up at 4:30. I work till 6. So when we see each other, there's a small window we see each other. So yeah, when I go over there, it's just working as normal. And then at the weekend, she has some death penalty course right up my street. Penalty, give me and all. She's Death Penalty course Saturday, Sunday. So I'm having a main character moment Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be going about London all by once. That's real main character shit. Then I'm heading to Texas at the end of the month, working. And then when I come back from Texas, a couple of days, and then I'm heading off to Bali. Going to be working from Bali, which I'm excited about. My girlfriend and I are heading out. She is accompanying me. Sexy secretary, as I call her. She'll definitely not love that, but there we go. And then, I don't know, see what the wind takes us. We have a few things to be doing in Spain, in Marbella. And then have a stag do in Ibiza. I've never been in a stag do. I've never been to a wedding. I know, kill me. I'm just a great coffin carrier. Loads of funerals. Run that up. So that's what's happening for travel. Clients, smashing it. I love coming on check-ins today. And what I do with my check-ins, I just blitz them from 4:30 in the morning until around 9, 10 o'clock, take a break, and then go again. I love it. Seeing people move forward every single week. It fires me up. And again, that's why I'm seeing mistakes. And I'm like, okay, great. We do this instead. People are moving forward every single week. It's class. It's like a fucking coach's hard on. Excuse my French. That's shocking. Anyway, I love you, leave it. Big love. Hopefully you got some value there. As the wise man once said. Let's go, baby. If you enjoyed that, please shoot us a follow, subscribe, and we have a newsletter as well. I'm pumping out a newsletter every Monday and Friday. We do that for the past couple of weeks. So if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, if you want to get fire to your inbox every single week, every single Monday and Friday, hit the link in my Instagram bio, Daniel Dargan, and you'll be able to sign up from there. And until then, let's go, baby. Big love.